Alex Berry here with Cobalt Boats. Today, wake surfing has become one of the most popular sports on the water, especially considering the fact that it is very low impact in comparison to skiing, tubing, wakeboarding, and the like. Today we're going to talk about Cobalt's TruWave system, which enables you to create the perfect surf wake with almost no effort whatsoever. So let's run through the key components of the system, and then we'll get into the operational details so you can really see how simple wake surfing can really be. The surf tabs shape the surf wake automatically depending on the boat speed and the selection of either surf left or surf right. In performance mode, they assist getting the boat on plane when the ballast tanks are filled. We'll come back to those details in a minute, but a key point to remember here is these are surf tabs and not trim tabs, so they are not for trimming the attitude of the boat while at speed. If the boat accelerates to a speed above safe surfing conditions, the tabs will automatically retract to the full up position and cannot be deployed manually while the boat is running over 14 miles per hour. The Volvo Penta Forward Drive takes traditional stern drive design and turns it 180 degrees so the props are positioned on the forward edge of the drive. Not only is there performance benefits with this design, there's the added safety of the props being tucked far forward under the boat, well away from a surfer. Multiple ballast tanks strategically located add weight, making the boat sit lower in the water, effectively carving a larger wave. Each tank is independently filled with its own high-flow pump for quick filling and emptying. The TruWave control panel is accessed from either of the two Garmin touchscreen displays by simply pressing the Home button, Smart Mode, and then Wake Surf. This screen provides the captain complete surf system control with an array of switches and indicators. The system also includes a zero-off GPS-based speed control for maintaining a steady speed, a great feature for both captain and surfers alike. Basically, there are three ways to operate your Cobalt: surf mode, performance mode, and manually. The surf mode provides the greatest surf wave in three simple steps. Fill the ballast tanks, select surf left or surf right, set your zero-off speed control, and you're ready to go. And we have found that 10.5 miles per hour is a great starting point for the speed control. So now let's drill down to the details of surf mode. When you're preparing your boat for the day and you know plans call for surfing, you'll need to check that the seacocks for the ballast tanks are open so the pumps can draw water from the lake. Seacocks are accessed in the engine compartment. Once opened, they can be left that way for the day. Okay, you've arrived at your favorite surfing location, so let the fun begin. But first, if your boat is equipped with Power Trim Assist, it must be turned off. That is done right here on the throttle control handle itself. Once that is accomplished, then it's time to fill the ballast tanks. Select Fill on the ballast tank switches. If the tanks are completely empty, no water level indicators will be on, but will illuminate as the water level rises. Filling can take around 10 minutes depending on the tank's size and the pump type. The pumps will automatically shut off when the tanks are full. When filling automatically stops, you may see a small airspace at the top of the ballast tanks. This is because of the water level sensor positioned inside the tank. Filling beyond the auto shutoff point is possible by cycling the ballast switch back to fill. Cycling the switch will resume filling for 30 seconds, and then again automatically turn off. To drain tanks, just select Empty on the ballast switch. Once complete, the pumps will automatically shut off. Even though each tank's filling process can be controlled independently, it's important to keep them together by monitoring the position of the LED indicators on the dash so as to keep the boat balanced properly. And a side note, it's perfectly okay to be filling the ballast tanks while underway. Once your ballast tanks are completely filled, the next step is to select surf left or surf right. And this would be a great time to double check that the power trim assist is turned off. Press and hold the appropriate button, then release. The button's indicator light will flash while the surf tabs are moving into the assigned positions and the drive trim moves to the optimum angle for surfing. Once all are set, the indicators will light consistently. Do not make any additional selections until the flashing lights have changed to consistent. The system can be easily switched between surf left or surf right. To change your selection, just press and hold for 1 to 2 seconds. Indicators will again flash as tabs and the outdrive trim move to their respective factory calibrated positions. The system is designed and programmed to give the best surf wave possible at the touch of a button. However, you're not limited to just that wave. It's possible to make minor changes to the wave with changes in the stern drive power trim. To disengage surf mode, press an already illuminated surf left or surf right button. Indicators will flash as the surf tabs retract to the full up position. Once complete, surf mode is disabled. Keep in mind that when you turn off surf mode, the drive trim does not move. It stays in the surf position. But you do have full control over that drive trim as you would under normal boating operation. The Zero-Off GPS-based speed control system is a great system on its own with many features. But in the interest of time for this video, we're only going to cover those that directly affect wake surfing. For complete information on the Zero-Off system, please check the user's manual that came with your Cobalt and your Cobalt dealer. Zero-Off automatically powers up with the boat ignition. The unit must have an unobstructed view of the sky to acquire a good satellite lock, which is necessary to operate with a set boat speed. This can take 1 to 2 minutes after initial powering up of the boat for the day. The unit will power on with the same settings as was displayed when powered off any previous use. For surfing, you will need to be in this, the recreational wakeboarding screen. This will show the 3 important data points for surfing: the boat's current speed, the speed set for surfing, an on-off icon indicating whether the speed control unit will engage when the boat is put in gear and throttled up. If you see a different screen displayed, we recommend the Zero-Off settings be changed to recreational wakeboarding for simplified surf operation. Please see the Zero-Off user's manual or quick start guide if this settings change is needed. Adjustments to the set speed are made with either the up or down arrow buttons. A short tap of the button will change the set speed by 1/10 of a mile per hour. Press and hold will change by larger increments. 10.5 miles per hour is the Cobalt recommended starting speed for surfing. As you become more familiar with the surfing characteristics of your Cobalt, you may wish to adjust the speed up or down. But remember, you must be under 14 miles per hour or the surf tabs will retract. The Cobalt True Wave surf system will not allow surfing at speeds above 14 miles an hour for reasons of safety. When it's time to surf and your desired set speed is selected, tap the on-off menu button so the on icon is shown in the lower right corner of the Zero-Off display. Now as you increase the throttle to get underway, the boat will not exceed the set speed. This is regardless of how far the throttle is increased. When the boat is under different load conditions, such as in a turn or adjusting the drive trim, the set speed will be maintained. Even though the speed control is on, you do retain full throttle control, up or down, at speeds below the Zero-Off set speed. A quick press of the on-off menu button will disengage the speed control. This is confirmed by the off icon in the lower right corner of the display. The ballast tanks are full, surf left or surf right has been selected, and the speed control has been set. You're ready to go. All you have to do is throttle up. What if you're at your favorite surfing location and you need to make a quick run back to the dock or to go to a different surfing location. The boat's heavy because the ballast tanks are full and it's not going to jump up on plane and run very well. So what do? True Wave Performance Mode is the answer. Performance mode allows you to get the boat to speed and on plane without having to pump the water out of the ballast system. As with the surf mode, if your boat is equipped with Power Trim Assist, in performance mode it must also be turned off. Keep in mind that in that mode you always have control over the drive as you would under normal circumstances. Additionally, it's important to make sure that you have turned off the zero-off speed control system, or you will not be able to accelerate the boat past its set speed. To activate performance mode, press the performance button and hold for 1 to 2 seconds. The indicator will flash as the surf tabs and drive move into position for getting the boat on plane. Do not throttle up or make any other surf system selections until the indicator has stopped flashing and remains constantly on. As you begin to run with filled ballast tanks and performance mode on, the surf tabs assist with getting the boat on plane and will automatically adjust as necessary. At 14 miles per hour, the surf tabs will retract to the full up position. While running in performance mode, you still have full manual control of the power trim and can make necessary adjustments. When the boat speed slows to below 8 miles per hour, the system will reset surf tabs and drive trim position. The performance mode indicator light again will flash as the tabs and drive move. No additional surf system selection should be made while this or any other system indicator is flashing. Pressing an already illuminated performance button will disengage performance mode. If the ballast tanks are empty, performance mode is not needed and it makes no difference to the way the boat handles or operates. If the ballast tanks are empty and the performance mode is turned on, the drive trim will automatically lower, but the surf tabs will retract and will not deploy. Now that we've covered surf mode and performance mode, we don't want to forget a key point. With surf mode turned off and the ballast tanks empty, the boat now runs, well, just like a regular Cobalt. If your boat is equipped with automatic Power Trim Assist, this function can now be fully utilized, whereas in the surf mode or performance modes, it must be turned off. When starting the engine, the system will always be in manual operation by default. If the engine is running and either surf or performance mode is activated, simply press the illuminated button to disengage and return to manual operation. While in manual operation, if the surf tabs are manually deployed, when you accelerate to 14 miles per hour or above, the tabs will retract to the full up position and are completely disabled from lowering. This reduces the chance of the boat being operated in an unsafe manner. Again, these are surf tabs, not trim tabs. Remember, the zero-off speed control system has many functions beyond wake surfing and can be used at higher boat speeds. If you want to run the boat faster than what you have programmed into it for wake settings, you need to make sure that it is turned off or it will not allow the boat to accelerate past that set speed. The True Wave Surf System is a tried and proven system with hundreds of hours in product development and testing. However, if an error occurs within the system, the check system light will illuminate on the dash and you should shut down the boat immediately. If the light is flashing, the system does not know and cannot control the position of the tabs, which could cause unusual attitudes and angles for the boat. If this light is flashing, it means stop the boat now. After safely stopping the boat by moving the throttle control to neutral, you can attempt to reset the surf system. This is done by turning the ignition key to the off position and waiting for the engine and boat electrical system to completely power down. Then turn the key to the on position. If the check surf system light is still flashing after this reset, you will need to return home at an idle or no wake speed and consult your Cobalt dealer before continuing to use your boat. If after performing a reset, the check light does not come back on, you may resume normal boating activities. but it's a good idea to keep an eye on it for a while just to make sure that we don't have a recurring problem. The day is done, the surfing has been great, and now it's time to head in. You can put the system into performance mode for the run back to the docks as discussed earlier, or begin emptying the ballast tanks and slowly make your way home. It's okay to get underway as the tanks are being pumped out. Once arriving at your home base, preparing your boat for loading on the trailer or lifting on a hoist is as simple as pressing one button, the trailer hoist button. While the trailer hoist system is active, the manual switches for the surf tabs and the ballast pump switches are disabled. The system is preparing the boat for trailering or for lifting on a hoist. You still have complete control of the throttle speed and the power trim system for maneuvering and for lifting the drive for trailering position. The ballast pumps will continue to run until the tanks are dry. This could take up to 10 minutes depending on the size tanks and the type of pumps in your particular boat. Keep an eye on the indicators, as this is a great indication as to when they are actually completely dry. An important point here, do not attempt to load your boat on the trailer or raise it on a hoist until those ballast tanks are completely empty. The Cobalt TruWave system is surfing made simple. Just 3 easy steps. Fill the ballast tanks. Select surf right or left. Set the speed control and you're ready to go. All you have to do is throttle up. In manual operation, you have the total luxurious ride and operational characteristics Cobalt boaters worldwide have come to expect for 50 years. In this boat, you can have the best of both worlds, surfing and luxury boating. And your Cobalt dealer is always there to help. Don't forget that he's the expert on all of these systems and is most anxious to make sure that you're enjoying your new Cobalt to the fullest. And from all of us at Cobalt, thank you and enjoy safe boating.